Yo, people, what is going on? We are back again with another freaking live show. And today we've got a special guest. Myself and Just Cooley is going to be interviewing this young man here who's going to introduce himself right about now. Babyface?
Yo, what's up? You good?
Yeah, we're waiting for you to introduce yourself.
Oh, what's up? I go by the name of Babyface Dean, all the way from South Africa.
There we go.
I need y'all to ask me some questions and some shit. I want to let y'all know who I am.
Precisely. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ask a question, and then once I ask one, Just Cool will then come with a question if he has one, and that's how we're gonna flow today. So, the first thing that I want to ask is, how did you come up with the name Babyface Dean?
It was actually a thing where, like, yo, me and my homie, we used to, like, when we were young, like 16, 17, we used to go in Hatfield. Yeah, they didn't let us in any clubs, and, like, they always used to bounce us, literally. Like, because we had Babyface at first, and then there was this time where I needed to come up with the name because I had a song and everything prepped, and I needed to drop. And then I actually need to choose my SoundCloud name, and I ran with Babyface Dean.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's cool, it's cool. To be fair, I hear about it, but over here in the UK, if you don't look like over 21, you get ID'd for like Red Bull, all this kind of stuff. If you don't look over 25, you get ID'd for drinks. So I definitely feel where you're coming from right there.
Yeah, that was the problem. Like, we were just trying to party, but, like, you know, it was impossible.
I hear that, man. So Just Cooley, what questions do you have today?
I want to ask Babyface, considering the climate within South African hip-hop at the moment and how quiet it's been in 2019, how does he personally go about maneuvering, between dropping songs, the rollout plan, and how does he go about getting word out there that he's dropped music?
Well, usually it, like everything gets planned out with my. So I'm under Forever Young with my management, and I'm under Rubo with my label. So every time we just strategize on like new plans, we come up with new things, and with the rollout plans we discuss with them. We decide if we're gonna run with PR, which we always do, and yeah, we just get down. We do everything we have to in order to push the song. Run with PR, which is not always up to me. It's like I do it with my team.
Okay, I got that 100%. So, how long have you been like making music for, or how long have you known you wanted to make music as well, and what inspired you to become an artist?
For about 3.5 years. Well, yeah. It was just a thing of like, man, in high school, like I hated school. Like, I really hated school. I've always been like, I tried guitar. I always did music in school type thing. And I just decided like once like I was just tired of doing things, but like, by the book. And I just wanted to like create my own path in my life and do whatever I want. And I decided to do it through music. And yeah, I've just been working on my craft, and it's been working out.
Oh, that makes pure sense. Man. And to be fair, I think people are lucky to know what they want to do early on as well. So I think you've been blessed with that ability, because a lot of people don't know what they want to do until maybe it's a bit too late or it's a bit harder in life. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, and some people get forced to do things that they don't want to do. Like, they don't even get to decide.
Exactly. Just Cooley, what do you want to ask? I can hear you breathing there somewhere.
Okay, so I wanted to know, like I said, back to the industry. Like, in South Africa, right, it's not like how it is in America where people get like booked all the time and people get slots within shows and stuff. With balancing out with the PR and with the gigs, and how like for you as an artist and as a label, you don't have to reveal everything, but like I just want to find out, like, because there's a lot of artists out here that have dope music, man, but then they can't get heard. You know what I'm saying? So what advice would you give to somebody that's on the come up, that's dropping dope music, but he's not getting the SoundCloud plays?
Well, I don't have like, okay, this would be personally my opinion, but like obviously it depends on everyone. Like it like literally music, like it depends on what happens in your life. Like what I'm saying now, like work for me, but I think you got to spend a lot of time like checking on Twitter, check Instagram, seeing who's pushing these artists all the time. Like there'll obviously be different people, but there'll always be that one guy that's always pushing everyone's page, like these big artists when they drop a song or something. You check that guy, send your links to him, hoping that at some point you'll put that link out, and at some point that works out, you get a little bit of traction there, or maybe you speak to friends, you start getting like, well, I'd advise like, you know, people like see so much stuff on Instagram, like you really have to catch someone's attention, right? So it's a thing of like you gotta get a graphic designer like to make cool stuff for your story to get people's attention, like where they can be, what is this? Like let me actually swipe up or check the link in his bio. You know, you gotta like go hard with everything that you do in order to get everyone's attention. And like just keep dropping, I guess, until you find.
I feel you.
Okay. So, so obviously, from my understanding, you know, you've been able to work with people like J Molly, Rico. You obviously now signed to Gemini Major's label, Rude Boy. The thing that I want to know is, how do you believe that because you've been networking and making collaborations with other new wave artists, do you feel like that's very beneficial to your career and everyone else involved?
Of course, like let's say a thing of like when I'm working with Jay, Molly, it's a thing of like, you know, there's certain fans of his that I don't have. So when we collaborate, like it opens me up to a new market, and I work with like all the different artists I work with. It just opens a new crowd every single time.
100%, because the one thing that I always tell people is that, you know, it's important to network yourself within the industry. You know, it's important to meet other artists, because when you meet other artists, one, you get a feed off each other's crowd. Two, you get a feed off each other's ideas, and most importantly, it's very important to work with as many producers as possible, because producers can introduce you to new sounds that maybe you didn't think you would be good at. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
like it's like a thing of building, you know, you gotta constantly be building with other artists, and that's how you get to the top.
do you feel like that's something that's missing in SA hip hop in general? The fact that the people before you just haven't been, you know, building, and no, just haven't been working together. Do you feel like that the new wave is going to be stronger than the old wave because you guys build together rather than build separately? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so, because it's a thing of like now it's like an intergeneration compared to back then. So it's a thing of like the way everything's turning out, like it's putting a lot of pressure on everyone, like to move better and find new ways to actually like do something in this industry. So it's a thing of like, I think us as the new wave are really inspiring these, because I'm sure they're running out of ideas now. It's a thing of like, you know, okay, this is how we can.
Away. So for as an artist, once again, I'll go back to the industry because there's a lot of things happening there. So I wanted to ask about, structuring, how you go about structuring your work. Because sometimes whenever I see on the socials, when people drop, they're always dropping according to seasons. Like record labels, they drop according to turns. So it's this person's turn, and then it's that person's turn, then it's the other person's turn. How do you know? Do you just drop whenever you want, or do you think, okay, maybe this is the right time because this thing is being talked about? This is the right time to drop this song, or do you wait? Okay, I'm gonna drop in October or in February, or is it just touch and go, or based on what's trending? Sorry.
Well, I guess it's a thing like, obviously we'll plan when it's best to drop, but it's a thing of like, it's never like a long waiting period. But yeah, we'll try push it we'll definitely like analyze when it's best. Like we won't just put it out at any time.
Okay, I got you there. So, would you say as an artist, so how did you go from being independent to being signed by Gemini Major? How did that happen? Sorry. And also, what have been the benefits of signing you as well with Gemini Major? Sorry, go on, Kevin.
It was just a thing like I was doing my thing on SoundCloud for the longest time, and it was just SoundCloud, like, and it was never gonna go anywhere with there was no money going into it. There wasn't a lot going into it, and then he just found me through J Molly introduced me to Gemini, and then we met, and then that happened, and now it's just a thing like I get supported in terms of like, it get distributed through them and a major label, and the PR gets paid for my video, financial help, and like just a lot of like just everything I need right now. Whereas when I was doing it, alone, like it was expensive and becoming almost impossible. But it was gonna take too long, and it was just too much hard work. Like it's better when you have a whole.
All right. Also, I get you. I get you. So I was actually gonna lean towards that. For a lot of people some people need to get signed, right? So to get support, and then there's other people that are able to do it on their own or get signed like a publishing deal or whatever. What do you look at what kind of artist the person is in order to take a deal or not, or do you look at their fan base, or how does it
That's
work
my
for you?
situation though. Mine is just, it's not like a signing. It's just distribution and publishing.
I get you. I get you.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear that. The signal went. So can you repeat that, please?
I said the deal's only like a distribution and publishing. Otherwise, it's like it's almost like still independent. They do my distribution and publishing.
I hear that. I absolutely hear that, man.
But that's
So how did you end up linking up with J Money? Did you know him before the music, or did you meet up throughout the music?
I knew before you started making music. We stayed in. He's from my hometown. We both from Pretoria. We met up when he was still a photographer, and yeah.
Oh, he used to be a photographer. I didn't know that. My bad.
He still edits, like he edits most of my pictures on my Instagram. He edits all of his pictures on his Instagram. He's still dope. He's really, really dope.
Do you believe so this is an interesting question. So when it comes to as a hip hop, one issue that I have with most artists that are not SoundCloud, that are already off SoundCloud and kind of leaning to the mainstream, is that what happens with them is when they release songs, it takes them a long time to then release a visual, or sometimes they'll release a song that's potentially a hit and then not release any visual at all. What do you think? Why is that? Do you know what I mean? Because I know for you now, you haven't released too much music, which I think is cool. Because end of the day, I feel like when someone is a SoundCloud person first and they haven't got that started yet, it's good to release few stuff and then keep all the goods ready for the future once you get that popularity. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like people, when they say kind of tend to drop audios for the sake of dropping audios, are not actually planning to build on them next, if that makes sense?
Well, I think it's a thing because, like, with me, I took so long with the For Keys video because, like, my ideas were just so crazy, but like it was a thing of, like, I couldn't afford it, so I didn't want to drop something because, like, you only drop a music video once. So I decided, like, for myself, like, I'd rather take my time and get that money straight, and then, like, shoot with the person I actually want to shoot with, instead of shooting something real quick and then, like, 2 years later when I'm sitting, like, in front of, like, my idols, like, let's say per se, and now I look back at my YouTube and it's like, damn, that was a really shit video. I didn't want to ever have that experience.
Yeah.
I want, like, to put out, like, my best with everything. So I guess other people do that for the same reason. I don't think anyone wants to, like, drop their music video, like, 2 years later because they, like, feel like it. I think they should, like, don't have money for their ideas yet.
But the thing is, don't you feel as if... Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. It's just correct. Let me ask before I forget. But don't you feel like if someone drops on audio and then they're unable to find a visual, is there actually any point of then dropping that visual, like, a year or so later? Isn't it better to just then create a new song when you do have the visuals for a new song? Does that make sense? Because if someone is trying to ride the wave of a song that they dropped 2 years ago or a year ago and then drop the video right now, they can't expect to collect numbers, because people would have already digested that song and already kind of got bored of it. So that's why, for me, I find it's important that before someone drops a visual, they must, like, get the money first, drop the song, and then literally within a week or two of that song, drop the visual. So at least the song is still fresh in everyone's mind. You see what I'm saying? For example, Frankie Cena just dropped the song Sudden. Now, that song came out way back, and obviously that song today at the moment is struggling to generate the views that it would have got. It should be on, because it's a dope visual, do you know what I mean, with a dope story behind it. But because it's a song that people have already listened to, people have already gone past that now, because since then we've had, Cassper Nyovest, aka we've had so many other people drop visuals as well. That song is like the past now. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just feel like, or don't you feel like people should only drop a song when they have the money ready for a visual? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. It just I'd advise that, but maybe in certain situations We don't know. Maybe that guy expected like something to go on, but even with Frank, like I'm sure Frank had a plan, and maybe like something happened where he couldn't do it. But I believe like most people don't make that decision. Like it's not in their hands.
Yeah.
But rather, if you don't have the money for it, don't do it, and just move on to the next single. Yeah. I say rather do, because dropping the video like later, it doesn't really work. Because like people, like getting people to watch stuff on YouTube, like it's got to be worth it, So like if you're gonna give it to them only a year later, like they won't watch it. It doesn't make sense.
100%. Just Kuli, let us know.
So I wanted to ask also, when it comes to these new internet artists, because obviously there's that base of Name Babyface, and there's also other people in the background, Reese, and all these guys. How do you guys like these new artists like J Hood, Master Difference, all these new people from Twitter? Actually, a lot of them come from Twitter. How should they go about working with you? Is it because obviously with J Marley, you knew him before, he actually did the music thing. So how would they go about contacting you in terms of, can we work? Or is it something in a matter of they should tweet you, or is it the email, or they tag you on a song? Because these days people constantly tag artists on songs, and sometimes artists don't even want to listen to that. But for you personally, how would somebody contact you if they want to work with you?
I guess in the future it had to be through my management, but as of now, I'm not doing any collaborations out of my close circle. I'm working on my EP, and the only people that I'm like trying to feature right now, it's only like a list of 3. So as of now, there would be no way. But in the future, like in like 6 more months, or maybe through my management.
Okay, I hear that.
And that's through, and that you can always find that through the email on my Instagram or either my Twitter.
I like that, man. Plugging that Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, man. So right now, in the position you're in now, I mean, if there's someone who you could collaborate with, and you feel like this person would definitely give you that next step in your career, who would it be and why?
Who would I collaborate with right now?
Yeah, but I'm not saying like who would you collaborate with, in like who would you just collaborate in general. I mean like right now in your career, who do you feel like is the right person? Because I feel like in music, there's always the right time to collaborate with the right person. You know what I'm saying? So who do you feel like is the right person to collaborate with you now to give you that next push in your musical career?
Nah.
So say again, so the signal went.
I say Nasty C.
Okay.
I definitely say Nasty C.
Reasons why?
Just right now, based on like, I think our sounds will go nicely together. I like what he's doing with his voice. Like he's not conforming to the sound that we have in South Africa. Like he's experimenting a lot with these voices, which is what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to like do my own thing, which and we both just young niggas. Like it would be the perfect collab. And I've met him on several occasions. I know him now, so it'll be dope energy. Like the energy would be crazy. Like if we had a song and shot for. But yeah, you never know. Like trust me, you never know.
I hear that, man. I hear that. But to be fair, I completely agree with you. Because I definitely believe that Nasty is probably one of the people right now that a lot of people would benefit from collaborating with. Because of what he's doing, and what he's doing is absolutely amazing. But if you had to collaborate with someone from the new wave that you haven't collaborated with, who would it be?
I don't know, but there is one person who I did work with, who is going to be on my EP. That's Cash CPT. You guys should check him.
Yeah, he was on Flame's most recent album.
Fire.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the only 3 features on my album.
Nice.
My EP. Yeah.
I hear that. Okay.
I wanted to ask about the EP. I know it's like your team does it and everything. For an artist that's on the come up, do you think, especially if you don't have as much wave as you, for somebody that's on the come up that has that feels like they figured out their sound, is it advisable to drop like projects, like 3-4 track projects, or because like you don't want to, like, somebody's like 21 but they haven't really blown up yet and they're still, you know, bubbling, and they want to drop projects but they can't because, you know, the energy or the wave is not there. What advice would you give to someone like that? Like, let's say it's difficult to say no, don't drop, because if you don't drop, he gets older, it becomes 26, 27, and isn't dropping anything, and is constantly dropping singles, and it's not really going anywhere. What advice would you give to an artist like that one that wants to drop a project but he's not getting the eyes that he wants?
I think like my method per se, like, and this is based off seeing other people, like watching, you know, the movements and everything. I think just keep giving people like smash hits, like the singles. Keep putting out the singles. One that you give on all digital platforms. One like a viral quickly on SoundCloud. Another one on all digital platforms. You know, see how they keep growing. See how they keep growing. Maybe make something fun. Do something where you're dropping every Friday now with the competition. Something, you know, just like get people together. And once you know you have people there ready to like digest like an EP, then do an EP. But there's no point in just dropping an EP. Like a lot of people think that's the step, but no one's gonna go listen 6 tracks. Like, you know, there's got to be something. They got to see something like where they can be like, all right, this kid, like, yeah, this EP could be fire. So like, I think like keep dropping singles, maybe 2 videos, 1 video. You know, have something people can watch, and then give them.
I hear that.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I hear that, man. That's some real stuff there, man. Which kind of brings the next question though. Do you feel like in the industry, like with some of the upcoming artists and whatnot, some people just drop EPs just for the sake of it? Like for me personally, I mean, let me rephrase it. For me personally, I feel like when someone drops an album on EP, it's because it has to have like a build up to something. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who just drop EPs and then they have nothing after, you know. An EP is meant to be like that preload of a flipping album, or do you know what I mean, or of some visuals. So do you feel like people are just getting carried away with this whole EP thing? Because sometimes I get people reach out to me who are not even upcoming properly yet, and they're saying to me, "Yo, I'm dropping an EP," but I'm thinking, why though? You haven't even got a fan base yet, you know. So what is your take on this whole EP thing? Because it seems to be a massive thing in SA, but yeah, if you come to the UK or even in America, EPs are not something that get dropped like that, you know. They always have to have like a follow up after, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I think these kids like look at this thing like, you know, you drop that fire EP, then you get signed type thing. You know, like that's the dream. I don't know, but everyone has this like thing that they have with EPs where they think like EPs the next move, you know. But it can only be like a powerful move once you've gotten people like, you know, once you have a fan base type thing. Otherwise, it just ends up being 6 songs that you get like 500 plays on each.
I hear that, man. 100%. Just Kulu, man. Let's go.
Away. So, I wanted to find out more about. I think I asked this earlier. The gigs thing, the gig scenario. How I know that you have a team behind it, but how do you go about? Is it? I don't know how it works. How you go about choosing your gigs? Do you get a whole lot of gigs and then you choose them? Or is it specific to your area, or like, because a lot of people are like, yo, I want to perform in Eastern Cape, but I live in Joburg, but I get a booking at the Eastern Cape, but then I don't really have a fan base. Do you look at how many people know you from that side? Do you network with people from that side, an artist from that side, or is it just the matter of you going there and then performing and then coming back and not really looking at the T's and C's of who really knows you from that area?
Nah, I'm an artist, so it's a thing of I'm gonna go perform everywhere and anywhere. Like that's literally my. But like, and also even if they don't know me, there it's a thing of like, as soon as I perform, like when I'm done, they all know me, and whether they want to keep like if they want to search it or you know, like a lot can come from it. They can just see me as, oh, that guy performed, or you can find like 100 people in the crowd decide actually like, yo, that was crazy. Let me go, you know, because I've had a lot of situations. I heard your stuff in the club and I Shazammed it, and it ended up being you. That's so crazy. And I was like, yeah, that's actually how it happens, you know. Like, if they don't know, they will know. But like, who am I, like, to be declining a performance because they don't know me out there? I'm trying to like.
Oh, yeah, I feel you, dog. I feel just because I was asking about like because some artists, not all artists are that confident when it comes to like performing in front of people they don't know. You're trying to perform in front of like sometimes at the same clubs to see if people recognize you. So I was asking for somebody that is very not so sure about how they should go about maneuvering around that, because not everybody has that thing. Okay, I'm just gonna go take this thing and be like, yo, I'm the artist, I'm gonna go perform, and then I'll see how they react. So I think a lot of people, especially the insecure ones, because they are insecure artists, what advice would you give to them, especially if they have dope songs, they have dope catalog, but then they can't go about channeling that energy? What advice would you give to those type of artists?
If you're scared, you're not ready. Like literally, like if you're gonna go, if you can't have studio confidence only. Like if you're gonna make that music and you're not willing to perform it, then stop making that music. Like literally, like you should making music. Like that doesn't make sense at all. You gotta perform. Because I've had those situations with a few friends where I'm like, yo, maybe come perform out on this set, and they weren't ready. And I explained to them like, yo, you gotta get out there, even if they don't know you type thing. Like you gotta get out there.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Man. So what's been your biggest gig so far? Hello?
I'm trying to think.
sorry.
I know that I performed to 11 times at a event, SA. I performed to an event with yo, Jude, what's the next biggest? 5,000 people for Cassper Nyovest's birthday. I've performed. Nah, I almost performed at the Dome. Yeah, 11,000 is the max.
How did it feel when you were performing in front of like all those people?
I think those ones are like less scary because you don't focus on anyone's eyes. Those ones are easy. You perform and like you. Whereas like the ones that are where I'm like a little bit nervous just before I get on stage is like the club. Like real intimate. Everyone's got their egos up. That's the hectic one. But big performances like a festival, that's not hard.
I hear that, man.
Away. So,
actually, the max to perform to 25 at Back to the City.
Damn, I like that. I like that.
Back to the City is fire, bro.
When
Back to the City's ending though. It's ending. Back to the
Why?
City's ending in a couple of years.
Why?
I don't know.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't think like Back to the City's a little bit. It's a little bit weird. It's like those guys that are in the crowd are really about the OG rap. It's like crazy. They're not fully onto the new wave yet.
So they're not really ready to appreciate the new sound that's coming through. Even if you're fire, they're just like, no, I want to listen to my OG.
They don't know what's in front of them yet.
That's probably why, obviously, Back to the City is probably coming to an end then. Because at the end of the day, if people are not willing to adapt to what's coming to them now, then there's no point of carrying the show because obviously the OGs are not always going to want to perform, So therefore, there's not really a revenue coming from it. That's actually mad.
Yeah.
It's actually mad.
Yeah.
But just Kuli, what was you going to say, sorry?
Away. I was going to ask, there's not a lot of OGs active at the moment in the game. Do you guys sit around and talk about how, why that is? Or like sometimes in other industries, especially America, like you get like a put on is from an OG. So like, let's say a Kulichana, you get recognized by Kulichana, and then from there then the industry is like, okay, we give you the nod. Do you guys ever sit around and talk about how the OGs are not a lot of them are currently active? So it's very difficult to be like, yo, can I get a verse? Or is this person looking at me? Like there's a lot of them that are currently sitting and not doing anything. Do you guys talk about that type of stuff?
Nah, we don't talk about OGs.
Not at all. Like you don't talk about being like getting a put on from somebody that has been in the game, like a proverb. Nothing. Like
I don't need anyone's like I don't need anyone's validation, but like I respect what they did and what they do. Like if let's say they did like give me a shout out, I'd respect that. But it's not a thing like I don't think I don't go around like holding that like yo I need that or anything. Like it is what it is. If they want to, they want to. But if they don't, I'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Do you think there's a specific reason? Because like most of the new school like artists think like that because their culture, that the culture is the put on. Stogie actually talked about it. I think last year sometime. Is like that it's not there, so people don't depend on it anymore. Do you think it's something that should come back or should manifest again, or do you think this thing of artists blowing up from the internet will be sustainable in the long run?
Can you repeat that again?
I was asking, like, do you think the whole thing of OGs putting artists on, it happens in America, it's a whole culture, it's like part of hip hop, and it's not happening in SA. That's why the new age artists this side don't really depend on it. Do you think just blowing up off the net off a song or a couple of songs and getting a team is sustainable, or do you think that essence of having an OG put you on is still important?
Well, I won't lie. You do need certain things. Like there is certain things that you need. Like, well, not that you need, but that will help you like boost your career. Like getting that co-sign from them. I won't lie. It does do something. It opens you up to a new market. Like I was featured on both Cassper Nyovest. I was featured on Cassper Nyovest's album. Sweet and Short, the latest one, and AKA's Touch My Blood, which is his latest too. I have credits on both of the albums, and definitely like I've noticed I be looking at my Twitter sometimes. I be getting like shout outs from people in Mafi Gang, sometimes people in Nairobi, Tanzania, all over. Like it opens you up to like new markets for real. But it's not necessarily that you need it, but it helps.
You know what though? Saying that though, I actually appreciate and like the fact that you feel like you don't need to have like an OG, recognition just to get out there, and I think that's hella dope because one thing that I feel like when it comes to the entertainment business, whether it's music, acting, hosting, all that kind of stuff, the main goal is to just to focus on your dream and and where you want to go, and you just keep going because if you're focusing on yourself and you keep going, then you're going to get there eventually. But if you're too busy focusing on, but this guy won't put me on, this guy won't do this for me, this guy won't do that for me, all you're doing is wasting thinking energy or thinking of them not helping you rather than thinking about how you can help yourself and how you can push yourself onwards and onwards. You see what I'm saying? So the mentality you got is perfect. You know what I mean? That's the kind of mentality you want because a lot of people, like to sit around and say, yeah, but Narcy got there because of a label. Narcy got there because of, his feature with Cassper Nyovest, all this kind of stuff. But the thing that people are not realizing is that Narcy C didn't get to Sway in the Morning because of Cassper or because of certain things. He got there because he was pushing for it. End of the day, just because you're signed to a label, it doesn't mean that just because he was signed to Mambala Noise or Universal Music, it doesn't mean that they're gonna ring Sway and be like, yo, we want to get him on. No, it means that A Reese is pulling the strings. He's saying hashtag strings and blings. He's saying, yo, okay, I know you guys are going to get the connections. Can you please get me here? Can you get me there? Because at the end of the day, as a human being, you've got to push yourself. You can't expect others to carry you everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You can't expect an arm around your shoulder. So, end of the day, with the mentality you got now, that's perfect. The only thing that now, obviously, you need to keep doing with that mentality is each time you sign for a label or you meet new people, you make sure you instigate what you want. Do you know what I mean? Just be like, yo, like for example, I don't know. Okay, let's say for example, you hadn't met Cassper yet, but obviously you've met Cassper now. It's one of those things. Obviously, once you've made the collaboration with him, you're like, okay, I really appreciate this. But at the same time, you then kind of leave it there that if you ever want to do another collaboration, or you need me in a visual, or you need me in some sort of podcast, whatever, I'm there. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's very important for people to think of themselves and only themselves when they're chasing a dream and not to worry about the next guy. Because sometimes people come at me and say to me, yo, how do you feel about American Reactors? How do you feel about all these kind of guys? I say to people, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm gonna let them do them. You know what I mean? It's not my problem. You know what I mean? As long as I'm doing me, I'm happy. You know what I mean? So that mentality is dope. It's hella dope. And you got to keep on that mentality because just like KO said the other day, chase your dreams, not the money. You know what I mean? And when you do that is when you get the best results, and that's when you get the best feelings, So listen, man, all I can say is shout out for having that mentality, because that mentality is very rare these days, and it's very rare for most South African artists that I do come across. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, that's all love from me, bro. That's all I can say about that.
Facts.
Shout out to you. Shout out.
But yo, just quickly, got another question before we roll up.
Yeah, of course,
This guy, man.
You know I got the plug. So
this guy, bro.
So I wanted to ask about this thing of artists. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's this. I think KO also went through it, and I think Mae and some other artists went through this thing of re-establishing themselves, or trying to try out a new sound or something just to reboost their careers. Do you think, as an artist, do you think, like, for yourself, do you think future-wise in terms of sound and how the sound is going to move? Because I think the more the internet grows in South Africa, the more we'll have industry plants like record labels investing in certain individuals that is going to plug other individuals into the game. And that's going to create more sounds. But as an artist, for you, do you think about the future in terms of, okay, now this season or next year, I'm going to be doing this sound? Or is it just going according to your feel as an artist and how you feel at the time?
Yeah, I think you got to do what's real. Like, you got to do what you actually want to do. Don't start doing a sound because that's what's popping right now. Like, I think that's happening a lot now in South Africa, where a lot of rap niggas are starting to do house, and it's like I don't think, well, you know, Cassper Nyovest has always been, like, I wouldn't be talking about him because he's always been doing, like, you know, the rap and Kwaito type vibe. So, but there are certain people where you can see they merging into, like, you know, that like house vibe, and it's like, I don't think people should do things just because of like what other people think. I think they got to do what they want to do. They got to push their music or make it better, like, or make your own sound if not. But like, if you're gonna go according to what's hot every season, like, I think at some point, like, you're gonna dry out because nothing's pure.
100%. Wow, man. Listen, man, this is the end of the day, man. It's gone past the half an hour mark, so we end it here, innit? But listen, it's been amazing speaking to you today. You know, obviously you're very woke with your plans and how you want things to go. I really like the way you think of what you're doing, and you've got this. I mean, it seems to me you've got what you want to do in the bag. It's just now getting it out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And
that sound like
exactly, just what I'm saying, which is fantastic, because I don't hear this. I mean, I've spoken to so many, not so many, but I've spoken to quite a few artists, you know, and I've got to say that out of most of them, you're definitely one of them there who's come across very woke. You're not like, you don't come across as if you're stuck up, or as if you think that, yeah, you are the deal, whatever. You're very humble to yourself, which is fantastic. On top of that, you've got a good manager as well, because some managers always be blocking their artists from having interviews and XYZ. So, you know, just be happy that you got a manager that's more than happy to allow you to, you know, spread your wings even on a small channel like myself. You know what I'm saying? So end of the day, I can only see, you know what I mean? So I can only see your future going forwards. It's just being patient and just keep pushing and hopefully Gemini Major can obviously help you as well. Because obviously you are signed to his label, for the people who just come in who don't know that. But listen, man, end of the day, everyone that's watching, thank you guys for sticking with the show, man. It's been amazing. Make sure you check out every single song this guy's dropped. He's dropped on every single platform. We're talking SoundCloud to iTunes, Apple Music, even though it's the same thing, but you guys think it's two different things. Mr. Harley, Spotify, you know, listen, check it out. You know what I mean?
Go check out that new music video on YouTube.
There we go.
So yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I also I highly recommend obviously check out For Keeps. That's only been out for 2 weeks now, so that's still there. That's done. That's actually done by Colt Cassette. So, and we all know that Colt Cassette right now is making moves, man. He's making massive moves. So, come on, guys, you know you want to do this.
Pronounced Clout Cassette.
Say again.
It's actually pronounced Clout Cassette. What's up, G?
Clout Cassette, same thing to me. Yeah, but yeah, and obviously also check out his other track he did drop last year with Gemini Major, Bad Man Drip. That's a hella dope track itself alone. And obviously, again, like he said before, he's already got songs where he's featured with Mosley. He's got songs where he's featured obviously with Cassper, aka. So he's definitely getting about. And he's definitely, you know, making those moves, people, man. Don't sleep on the boy, you know. And hopefully from this interview onwards, maybe in a month's time or something like that, we'll hear some music, some new fresh music that drops from you, man. Hopefully.
Definitely.
But hey ho, people, man, you know how it is. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.